torque is how we create rotational force in our body. When you use torque, if this is turning this way, this needs to be turning this way. And that is how you create resistance to create power in your golf swing from your core. Now, even though the core is not moving that much in the swing, it's only doing this and this. It's hardly moving. And it's one of the things I think has made it so difficult to really understand what's really happening in the swing, because the part that's really doing all the work doesn't look like it's doing much at all. You can't really see it. You can see your arms and your hands and the club and your legs and your hips and all that stuff, but you can't really see what's happening here, but you can feel it. And once you get a medicine ball and you find a wall that you can start hucking this thing around, that is how you start to feel core engagement. Now, again, I'm not going to go over this a lot because it's already on the site, but that is the key to starting to get everything in your golf swing to sync up, to keep your arms in front of your body. You know, you start with the supination of your arms, go back and forth, rotate and throw. And that becomes the entire core, if you will, of the golf swing. To learn it, you need to start with a putter. And for most of you, learning how to putt with trail hand and a little bit of core engagement will be very challenging at first. But if you go through the videos on the site, the new putting videos, you just got to go through these little 4 or 5 footers and start getting a feel for it. Then you're going to go through the tee drill. Then you're going to add your left hand. Then you're going to start chipping and so on. But it doesn't take very long. 2 or 3 hours of each one of those will get you about 500 reps. 500 reps is enough to start to transfer this stuff into your subconscious, your unconscious, so that your body is starting to move without having to think about it. And that's where we need to get you. And that's when you're ready to move on to the next piece. Once you can start to do this stuff, these little simple drills, seemingly simple drills, the tee drill is probably going to be a challenge for a lot of you at first. I know for a lot of students that I've had here, it's been really tough at first to not whack the tees all the time with your hands, because we're so used to our hands and arms kind of going all over the place. But once you start moving from your core, you'll find that you can get that putter to pass through that gate of tees the same way every single time with incredible precision. You're talking about millimeter level precision, which is what we need in the golf swing. We need to be that accurate, but we need to start with the putter to start to feel the amount of precision. I want you to start hitting the ball in the center of the putter face every single time. And when you chip, every single time in the center. And you've got to train this hand, your brain, and the core to start to work together. And once you have that, all of this stuff starts to make a ton of sense, and you will see a radical change. And it can happen incredibly fast. Now, I can't promise you how fast it's going to happen. It depends on how much time you put into it, how much concentration. You'll see that I talk about in the putting drills. It's really a concentration drill as much as anything, to learn how to start to feel these little nuances of getting your core to rock your shoulders and coordinating that with the feeling that you get in your right hand and your fingers of your right hand, to start how you release the putter face. And all those details are in that video. Once you have that, you will start to have a foundation that you can build on incredibly fast. So as an example, again, I'm not making any promises on time. Everybody's going to be different. But that wedge swing, to get it that close to Tiger's, and I promise you, when we started, it was not that close. It was reasonable, but it wasn't that close. It took 2 days of Craig and I working together. 2 days. That's it. Now, how did we get it done that fast? One, you have to video your swing. You absolutely, it's non-negotiable. You have to video. And I'm going to make this really simple, because I'm giving Amazon a lot of business for no reason here. But here's a tripod and phone holder. It's like $20. You have no excuses not to video your swing now. You can swing $20 to get this silly little tripod with a little phone holder, because you absolutely have got to pay attention to the details, the micro details that we start to show you in these videos. So all I did for 2 days, for maybe, I don't know, Craig would probably remember, maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, I took my wedge swing from where it was to nearly identical to Tiger's in 2 days, in 2 or 3 hours a day, by understanding how to start to engage my core, checking what we were doing on videos. But the big thing is, you really need a second set of eyes if you're not being super, super detailed about it. And even I, quite frankly, there's probably nobody on earth that is more anal and detailed oriented about the golf swing than I am, and I needed a second set of eyes. So get a second set of eyes if you can. You know, post your video underneath the. We'll try and look at them in the forums or underneath the putting video. Just go on there, video your swing real quick, post it up there, and say, hey, is this close or not? And if you're not sure, then take a lesson.
Hi, Chuck.
How are you? Great setup.
I'm David in Arizona. 109 degrees right now.
Get out of here. Oh my gosh.
So I got my first review yesterday from Craig and played today and just hitting some balls while this was going on. And it's never used the core, I guess. And it feels wonderful. So take it.
Awesome.
Can you see it?
Yep. Perfect. A couple more for me. Awesome. Okay, so I got it there.
Okay.
So what's happening here? This is going to be super helpful for you to get a medicine ball, or if you don't have a medicine ball, grab your impact bag, something just with some mass to it, because the thing that's missing in your golf swing is the idea of syncing the arms with the core. Because what you just did there was kind of an arm swing, and so you will never make a full shoulder turn when you don't do that, when you don't engage your core. So you've got to feel immediately. And again, when you look at it on camera, it doesn't look like much, but that core doing that gets you a full shoulder turn. And I can do it with my arms only at 9 o'clock. What you did is you swung your arms back really quick, and then you're going to turn your shoulders, and that's never going to help. You're never going to transfer any pressure back to the lead side. You're just kind of, what you're doing is essentially turning your shoulders and kind of spinning. Okay. Instead of being able to generate torque. And so if you have a ball and you go back and you practice throwing, and I would like for you to actually take a step with your left foot. Yep. Okay. Really good. Now you'll notice I want you to practice you're doing what I would call a push. So you are pushing the ball through instead of throwing it with rotational force. When you throw it with rotational force, your right foot should go back. And I want you to exaggerate that. So as you're going forward, take a step and throw and let your right foot go back. And you'll have more velocity with your core.
Neat. I did order the ball just a little bit ago, and it won't be delivered for over a week. So we'll be using one with the handles.
Okay. Yeah, the handles help a ton, especially because then you can for those of you who picking up a ball. Oh, audio is kind of weird there. Okay. The one with the handles you can throw with one hand. Why is that going funky? Is that my mic? Not sure. Sounds funky, huh? Can you guys still hear me okay? Or is it... let me mute his. Oh, I think it's gone. Here, let me mute real quick. Okay, did that fix the microphone? I muted his microphone there. You guys still? Okay, I think that fixed it. Okay, perfect. So yeah, something just went funky there. So with the ball with the handles, you can throw it with. Sorry, David, I had to turn your mic off there. Something went funky. But with the handle, you can go back with just your trail arm and throw, and then start getting a feel of how strong and how firm you need to be posted up on this left leg. That'll be a big change because you tend to hang back and then you kind of and pivot like this. And you want to be able, that's why I wanted to take a step. So you go back, take a step and throw. And this thing's got to be like a tank. It's got to really brace up so that you have that stability for your core to pivot on. So when you get a ball, you can practice with your right hand or just your trail hand only, and that will help you start to feel that motion of bracing on this lead leg and getting this trail foot to go back behind you will be very, very important. Does that make sense? David, I'm not sure if, can you hear me okay? Hey, David, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we're getting some bad audio, so I'm going to have to remove you here. Sorry. All right, David, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What do we got?
I'll have to work on the setup.
Okay.
Make sure the core gets activated like it should be.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, your core looks good there. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, perfect. Everything there looks great.
The thing I'm going with Craig is my weight shift and my moving off the ball too much.
You say you move off the ball too much? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so moving off the ball, like once you grab something heavy, like a medicine ball, you know, what you'll find is that it's the only way that you're really going to move off the ball is when you try to really move from your shoulders, from your upper body, or you try to move from your arms. Once you start to move from your core, because it's truly moving from the center of your mass, there's just no way to really move off the ball. So once you start swinging your arms with your core, you can see that my head, if anything, actually wants to go forward to start the swing. And this is something I talk about in the chipping video. When you start to see, during when we do the both hands chipping, that Tiger's head starts to actually move forward to start the stroke, and then actually kind of moves back in the downswing. When you're using something like a medicine ball and you start, I like to personally practice hinged forward a lot. That's kind of how I can wake up my body in the morning. So I'll actually start like way bent over. And now from here, as I use my core, I'm just starting to wake everything up, but I'm also feeling that centered rotation. So you can see my head's not going to move off the ball. As soon as I try to move with my arms or hands, that's the only way you're going to start moving off the ball. So now that you've got a great engagement of your core at setup, you want to grab something with some mass and start rocking it back and forth and feeling these muscles working in your body.
Okay.
You got any other questions for me?
That's it.